What's going on, guys? My name is Vulpe and this is the Spider-Man PS4 review. Now, I know so many of us have been waiting for this game for years. After we saw the E3 2016, I believe, trailer, it was amazing. It grabbed me when I saw it and I couldn't wait to play it. Now, does this live up to the hype? Does it live up to the expectation? Is this the best Spider-Man game? Yes. And kind of no. Let me explain before you jump on the hate wagon. Basically, this game is really awesome. It's a really great game. I loved every moment. But there are some elements that kind of hold it back. And we'll start with the story. I actually really like this story. I think it's one of the stronger Spider-Man stories. You get to play as Peter Parker, even Mary Jane at moments. And yes, the Mary Jane moments are kind of, I don't know, slow paced and almost annoying, if you will. But I think they do an okay job at kind of separating the action and just kind of the normalness. Even though when you are Mary Jane, there is still a lot of action to go through. I just think that they rely on that a little too much.
If that statue is what I think it is, this just turned into a huge story. Quiet.
What do you mean he had to reschedule? If she's not your reporter, who is she, Craig? Who is in my auction house? Oh my god.
Now, quick disclaimer, I don't mean to say this because I'm trying to be mean or anything, no. All the gameplay you're seeing is actually recorded by a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine actually, Aaron. And he actually came over and he recorded all this stuff for me. We hooked up everything and I was still in the room, but after planning the game, there was no way I was going to replay all these sections. Yeah, it was still kind of fun to see it, but actually having to play after... If you plan the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But once again, thank you so much to him. So, quick little disclaimer, that's actually not me playing, so I don't know if you like it or if you hate it. I don't know, whatever you think. Just, that's not me. Another thing that the game does to kind of slow down the combat a little bit and slow down the pace is these little puzzles. And there's two different puzzles in the game. There's one where you kind of have to take these lines on the left and match them up with the lines on the right. And of course, like little things that you have to learn as you play the game, and some different boxes with the lines cancel out other lines, and you have to learn that throughout the game. And that one I think was okay. My personal favorite one is where you actually have to put these little pieces throughout this kind of maze. Not a maze, but if you will, it's just kind of like a... I'm going to say a maze, forget it. But yeah, you have to put the pieces and you have to see which one connects, and sometimes you have to actually get these green pieces that have a charge to them, so it's either a +1, +2, +3, you get it. And then the charge, you have to get to the right number, but then there's these other red pieces that have a minus charge, so they'll degrade from that number. So sometimes you have to overcharge, and then once you get to that -1, then you'll get from, let's say, 5 to 4, and then you'll have that perfect charge you need. So it's not super complicated, it's actually quite easy, but it does a really good job, and honestly, you can actually skip them if you want. There's a button to skip, which, I get it, you know, people didn't really buy the Spider-Man game to play puzzles, but I liked it. I didn't skip one. Even though I got stumped for like a minute on one, I just kept going through them, and I enjoyed them. I think it's really nice that they try to do something different in a Spider-Man game instead of just what we expect. I think innovation is great, and I think that they did a great job on that part. Now, when you actually get to play as Peter Parker, it's kind of cool. Peter isn't in high school anymore. He's graduated from college, and he's now a scientist working for Otto Octavius. Yes, that Otto Octavius. Now, of course, I'm not going to get into any spoilers, and the story actually kind of unravels itself quite well, in my opinion. There's like kind of elements where just like, okay, don't do that, but then you're just like, okay, no, we're fine, everything's good, and then you're like, no, everything's collapsing, but in a good way. That's not a bad way. I don't mean that in a bad way at all. It's actually a very good way. In addition to also being a scientist, you also get to help out at May, at Feast, a little company run by Martin Lee to help out homeless people or people that just need food.
Hey, Peter.
Hey, Peter. What's up?
Just dropping in. Peter, are you in trouble? Do you need money?
No, I mean, I'm a little behind on my rent, but no, I'm fine.
Now, there are actually moments in the game where Peter and MJ will kind of go on this date, if you will. It's more of just like kind of like a get-together, friend get-together. But you kind of do see the bumps and the kind of ups and downs of their relationship. It's really cool to see that because, you know, we all love MJ. And it's really cool to see their connection kind of grow and what goes on behind the scenes with them. Now, I think the most important part of any Spider-Man game is the gameplay. So how does it fare up? I think it's amazing. Okay, the web swing feels so fluid, and when you're running alongside of the building, you can actually kind of grapple onto the side and slingshot yourself around the building. Everything is so fluid. You can web zip to a point and jump right off. It's really, really good. So just because you can web swing around the city perfectly doesn't mean other elements of the game are just as good. Spider-Man has to fight bad guys. He has to. So how's the combat? It's actually awesome. There are so many different gadgets to choose from your just regular web shooters to spider drones to a web bomb that'll like explode and then it'll kind of catch everybody into like a web cocoon almost. It's really, really cool. You can even grab objects from the world and kind of like swing it around and throw it at them. And depending on the object, it'll actually kind of hit harder or hit less, depending on the mass of the object. Now, yes, you could imagine that it does kind of feel like the Arkham Batman games, and honestly, that's kind of what I felt like. I was furiously hitting triangle to counter, but there is no counter button. You can kick, you can shoot people up in the sky and do air attacks, you can dodge, and that's kind of like your counter. There is no counter, there's only dodge. So when an enemy comes at you with an attack, you have to dodge it, or you can use a gadget to kind of stop them in their tracks or completely immobilize them. Now, Spider-Man also has his trusty spider sense, and he mostly uses that in combat, or you can kind of tell when something's about to happen. It's super helpful, and without a whole counter system, it's really a great little thing on the side to know when to dodge. I don't know if they're going to implement, because I heard there's a new hardest difficulty, coming out with New Game Plus. I don't know if they're going to take that out, like how the Arkham games did. But it's really cool. It's the Spidey sense we all love and know.
You guys all right?
We were just about to call for backup.
I think I'm it.
Lead the way. We'll be right behind you. Heads up, boss.
And one of the coolest parts about this whole game is the suits. There are over 20 different suits that you can choose from and swap out at any time. And you can even take the specials of every suit, because every suit has their own unique special, and put it into another suit that you like even more. It's really, really cool, and I think they did a great job on all the designs and all of the supers. Now, in the game, there's actually 4 distinct factions that you fight. You have Sable troops that you see later on in the game. You have the thugs, just like regular everyday thugs, prisoners, and the demons, which are run by Mr. Negative. And they all kind of, in little ways, play out differently. Usually Sable can take a lot more hits, but all the other people kind of, they're all the same types of enemies. Like there's the big buff guy, there's the shield guy, and then there's the guy with like the sword or something like that. And all the factions kind of have that same type of enemy, just in different skins. Now, also, before I forget, I don't know how I could forget this, Wilson Fisk is a huge part of the game. Spoiler alert, it's a little spoiler, come on guys. He's actually the first boss you fight in the game, and he's also actually a really good boss fight in my opinion. For a first boss fight, they do a great job. And his troops are kind of just the standard troops. They got machine guns, they also have rocket launchers, and kind of the same thing. As I said, all the troops kind of are the same almost in a way, just different skins. But these guys just love to blow stuff up.
Morning, guys! Who's ready for their hot, fresh cup of bodily harm?
So when you're swinging around the city, you get to see all these different factions in play. There's going to be some crimes that pop up that you're going to have to do. And the crimes are by faction. There'll be sable crimes, thug crimes, prisoner crimes, and so on. And they all play really, really well. There's a nice balance of different types of crimes. There could be a crime where you have to stop a car, or sometimes there's a crime where you have to get citizens out of a car and save them and then find the guy who did the hit and run in the first place. It's pretty cool. I like it. There's a nice pace between all of them. I think they do a really good job. Now, what would a Spider-Man game be without the boss battles? I couldn't wait for this part of the game. It's one of my most hyped parts of the game personally. I was so excited to even try it. So basically, this is like a little spoiler, but kind of the first boss you fight is Shocker, and you fight him in a bank. And honestly, I really did like this boss battle. It's simple, but it gets the job done, in my opinion, very, very well. You have to swing around, and they made it big enough so you can actually swing around. You can use those spider abilities. You have to swing around, you have to grab an object and hit it, or excuse me, throw it at his shield to kind of break the shield, and then you can web strike into him and start hitting him, and then rinse and repeat. But then there's like 3 different stages of that boss battle, and you have to kind of pull this gigantic, almost chandelier on top of him, and then you got him. But that doesn't necessarily mean that all the other ones are just as good. And this actually pains me to say, but I don't think they are. I don't think they're that good. That kind of disappointed me in a different way that you might imagine. Did I enjoy all the boss battles? Absolutely. 100%. I really did enjoy them. My problem with them is that they're very... Once you understand what you have to do, it's very repetitive. And it almost reminded me of the boss battle from God of War 2018, where I forgot where who they are. I forgot their names, but Kratos and his son Atreus is fighting 2 different guys, and then you have to like kind of get one low and then the other one also low at the same time. Sometimes that's how it works, but sometimes it doesn't work in Spider-Man. It's kind of weird, but I enjoy them? Absolutely, but they were a little too short for my opinion. I thought that once you just realize what you need to do, you finish it like that. That's it. The only ones that I actually truly enjoyed was Shocker, and Mr. Negative. And there's another one at the end that you guys will see. I don't want to say any spoilers, but I think that one was okay as well. I think that one's a bit more story-driven boss battle than an actual gameplay-driven boss battle, so I'm okay with that. That's fine, even though how short it was. I think that's perfectly fine. It's more story-driven. But yeah, Mr. Negative and Shocker were my 2 favorite, actually, out of the whole game. And I think, yeah, by far, those were definitely the 2 biggest. Now, before I continue, I just want to say, please forgive the whole lighting situation. It's really, really weird. I wasn't thinking ahead, and there's a gigantic window right here to my right. And my blinds are closed right now, but the sun is hitting the clouds, and it's either making it lighter or making it darker, and you're gonna probably see some dynamic changes in the lighting. And the first shots I actually did with completely artificial light with my light bulb, but it's a yellow light, not an actual natural. And I need to get a white light bulb, but I just need to block that. I just want to apologize really quick. Please forgive me. This is my first review. This is not my best by far. I just want to let you guys know, and thank you so much. So while you're swinging around the city, yeah, it's a lot of fun to swing around and fly around the buildings and beat bad guys, but sometimes you want to take a little break. And who is better to give you a little break than J. Jonah Jameson? That's right. J. Jonah Jameson is in this game, and he's not at the Daily Bugle. He's actually retired, I believe. I could be wrong. But he's not there, and he has his own talk show called Just the Facts. Oh, man. With J. Jonah Jameson. And he's actually really funny. There's so many different ones that pop up throughout the whole game. I don't know if they repeat. I don't think they repeat themselves. But even when I was beating the game, they kept popping up. This is Just the Facts. And that was awesome. That was really, and it's funny. I'm a little disappointed they didn't get the original actor who played in the Raimi movies. If I can think of his name, it's gonna come to me. Hold on. J.K. Simmons. That I had J. Yeah, there it is. Anyway, I absolutely love that. I'm a little disappointed, but I think the actor who's in this does a really good job. I think he does a fantastic job, especially for being after J.K. J.K. Simmons, excuse me. I think he does a great job, and he earned his paycheck there.
2-time Pulitzer Prize winning former publisher of the Daily Bugle.
Hey, plug the book.
And And as always, if you order Mr. Jameson's book, Spider-Man, Threat or Menace, within 24 hours of our broadcast, you'll get an autographed copy at no extra charge.
No personalizations, don't ask, not gonna get it. Welcome to Just the Facts with J. Jonah Jameson, alerting you to the threats you don't even know about.
Now, I absolutely love the humor in this game. The voice actor for Spider-Man does a great job with the humor. There's just little things, but they're really, really funny. You'll see them throughout the game. They're slight, they're not over the top, but they just give you a little giggle. It's really awesome.
Hiding so cowardly, even for you.
Says the guy frantically erasing his search history. So, should we kiss now? Yeah, maybe later. Oops, guess we're stuck in here for a while. Want to play 20 questions? No? How about we thumb wrestle? Okay, face punch it is. Hi, Mr. Muggins. If this is about the rent...
Mr. Parker, this call serves as your third and final warning. Eviction proceedings...
Wait! I get paid at the end of the week! I get...
Eviction proceedings will start Friday unless full payment is received by close of business. Good day.
You'll get your rent when you fix this damn door!
So around the city, you can actually find so many different activities. There's backpacks that you can collect with different items in each and every single one. And you're probably thinking, why does Peter have so many backpacks? Why is he losing so many? Well, he actually does explain that in one of the backpacks, so go look for that one. You can also find these hideouts, and the hideouts are also faction-oriented, and they're actually different. Hideouts are different styled and different, obviously different factions in them, but I like that. It's a different pace, and it makes it look different, so you're not finding the whole same different hideout every single time. It's very nice. Now, yes, there are these towers in the game that you have to kind of just get near or sit on top of, and then you can unscramble this little, it's a little mini game, it's super simple. And then you get a little portion of the map. Do I enjoy doing that? No. Was I okay with doing it? Yes. For one reason only. I played Assassin's Creed when the first Assassin's Creed came out on the PS3, okay? So I'm all too familiar with the whole synchronization point thing. And I absolutely hate it when games do that, because it's just boring and tedious, especially now. But the only thing that keeps me from saying that I absolutely hate it in this game goes completely back to the web swinging. The web swinging is so fluid, you can literally just web zip to the point and just sit on top, unscramble, and you're good to go. And you go right on to your next objective. It's so simple and quick, and that's the only thing keeping me from saying that I don't like it. So just don't put it in the other games, okay? It's kind of, at that point, it's just filler. So I don't want to say it is, but it kind of gets to that point. But thankfully, I'm going to let this one slide.
We just had a tower come back online. Was that you?
Not just a pretty mask, huh?
Whatever you did, any chance you could do it to the other towers?
Sure, but just so you know, I had to sync up with the tower to fix it. I'm seeing all crime data in the area now. Looks like there's a break-in happening near me.
Great. I've got units nearby.
Don't bother. I'm on it.
Now, Spider-Man needs a little help sometimes. He's not Superman. Get it? Superman. Just leave that dislike, okay? Just do it. But basically, he has to get some help. And he enlists the help of Yuri Watanabe, who's a detective in the NYPD. And they help each other out throughout the whole game, whether her officers need some help, or if sometimes Spider-Man needs some help, she'll send some guys his way. I think the relationship is really, really cool. I like the banter that sometimes goes between them. I think they're great characters together. I think they do a great job.
Get more backup. And lock down the airspace.
Yuri, you okay?
If he makes it out of that building, we're gonna lose him.
I'm gonna go,
Do your thing.
Yes! So, why'd you call? Need a date to the policeman's ball?
You got a black and white suit?
Now it comes down to this. The final score for Spider-Man 2018 on PS4. Now, because I'm a new channel, so I'm just going to kind of explain to you how I would like to review my games. Now, it's a lot less IGN and a little bit more Angry Joe in a way, but I don't want to copy anybody, so I'm going to do my own little thing here. So 5 is average, okay? It's right in the middle between 1 and 10. 5 is average, okay? 6 is above average. 7's an okay game. It's a good / okay game. I think those can be intertwined sometimes. It's a good / okay game. 8 is a great game. 9 is an awesome game. And a 10 out of 10 is a phenomenal game. Now, I didn't want to use perfect game. Excuse me. I didn't want to use perfect game because I don't think that there will ever be the perfect game. At the time, maybe for that year, it is the perfect game that's ever been released. But I don't think there's ever such thing, excuse me with my English, ever such a thing as a perfect game. I don't think so. So I'm gonna leave that as a phenomenal game. And I think, you know what? I'm gonna give my perfect game of that year. So let's do like a, I don't know. I'm not gonna say any specific game right now, but I'm gonna do like a perfect game of 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, whatever, and I can give it that specific year. Or maybe I'll just do that at the end of the year so that way I know exactly what games came out. But there you go. That's my rating system. Also, anything under 5, honestly, at that point, it's just gonna be what kind of mood I'm in to give it. Because if a game scores lower than a 5, I mean, just leave it to me, and hopefully I can give the right score. So, what does Spider-Man earn? Well, actually, if you were paying attention since the beginning of the video, you would have known this. It's an awesome game. It's a 9 out of 10. Easily. Yeah, of course. There's some bumps in the road. And as I said, no game is perfect. But it easily, in my opinion, earns that 9 out of 10. I'm gonna pull my gen here. Makes it feel like Spider-Man. The combat's great and fluid. They changed some things up around the world and some other activities. I think they do a great job here. I know I've said that a lot, but I really, really mean it. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Leave a like, leave a subscribe if you want. Hopefully, maybe one day you'll see a video you actually like of mine. But thank you again so much for being here. And I know this is my first video. This is just super rough. I know the lighting's weird, the whole video. The audio might be a little weird. But hopefully my editing a little bit will kind of make up for that. But once again, thank you. Have a wonderful day, guys, and see you in the next video.